Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Forlight Podcast, a weekly podcast dedicated to gaming, gaming news, and all things entertainment related. I'm joined today with my beautiful co-hosts.
I'm Ethan.
I'm David.
And I'm Leighton.
Alrighty. Today we have a very special episode. We are trying out something new today. We decided to come up with this new segment called Ask the Expert, where we invite either a guest or one of us onto the show and allow them to discuss something that they are incredibly passionate about and know a lot about. So today our expert will be the one and only Ethan Vachon.
Let's go!
And we'll be talking about the Legend of Zelda, as that is his topic of choice, which he claims to be the expert of.
Any bad takes from the guys, I'm going to cut out. That's what I'm going to
Like I said,
take it out.
He's the main editor. We have no control over what he does.
Wait,
Not there.
so Zelda's like the main character, right? Yeah, Zelda's the guy you play as.
I don't even want to. I don't even. No,
Zelda's
we're not doing that.
No.
That is the most common
Zelda's
thing,
the evil
too.
one. Zelda's the evil one.
Isn't Ganondorf the guy you play as?
This is going to be a difficult stream, I can already tell.
All of us play Zelda.
And by difficult, I'm going to be losing my
played
mind.
once.
Why don't you describe what Zelda is?
Yeah, so the game that I'm going to be talking about today is basically the Legend of Zelda in its entirety, just all the games that come with Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And I really, honestly, if we're going to be fully honest here, I've only played the 3D versions, really. It's the like Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, the ones that they are 3D. And I have played a little bit of the top-down, so like Four Swords and stuff like that, which all those I will explain when we get through.
Do you want to, like, is there a reason? Was it just preference that you wanted to play 3D, or was it just consoles or something that you just had access to?
It honestly probably was consoles, and also lightly preference, just because they, in my opinion, they look better, they play better, and you get more of the lore from 3D games.
More of the lore, really? Even like remasters, or?
Yeah, I think because the side scrollers, like, you do go up to a building and you get like the signs that you can read and stuff like that, but you're just getting, in like the very first games, you're getting the princess, the hero, and the main bad guy, and that's it. The other, like, the 3D versions, the newer versions, like Skyward Sword, you're getting, like, full-on dialogue talks with other characters and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's like the limitations of the technology. Now that with 3D like animation technology, I assume there's more room for stuff to put in.
Right.
So they just add more lore.
Yeah.
All right. Now that you've kind of like introduced like what it is that you're like the expert of exactly, I'm just playing. Let's get into some questions. I think.
Yeah, we've prepared a few questions for you.
All right.
Well, actually,
the night of the 15th.
Oh God.
What actually? Can you? Because you've played a bit of the games, but like, can you tell us like what your favorite game is, and is there like a reason why?
Yeah.
So. Okay, so
this is gonna be good.
I might get some slack from this, but my favorite game, I think I talked about it our first podcast, but my favorite game in the Zelda franchise, to be perfectly honest, is Skyward Sword. It's been the game that, like, I don't know, it was a childhood game. It was like through the Wii and stuff like that. And a lot of people said it was really bad on the Wii, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun. Just the story is fantastic in that game. The music is incredible. A lot of people just give it slack because of the controls. Because it was the motion, like the nunchuck and the Wii remote, and it was just really hard to get to.
Was it the first motion control, or was that...
that was,
Twilight Princess?
Twilight Princess was the first technically, but they played around with... I'm gonna put this out real quick. I might be able to add some stuff. The last podcast we were talking about adding stuff, but that was copyright issues. But there's a thing where you can hit a button and you can use your sword to just like censor things. Basically, it's all like, you would imagine that your sword is your right hand and your shield is your left hand.
Nice.
And you're doing that. Twilight Princess is like, you're literally like just playing a game with two controllers, kind of.
So, I guess my question is it better than Twilight Princess and Wind Waker? or is the control still an issue for Wii? Like, non-remastered stuff, is it still an issue? Like, does that inhibit gameplay, or is it better just overall on Switch?
So, what do you mean by that? Do you mean...
So, like, if you were to go back and play the Wii versions, like, have you ever played the Wii versions? Or...
I played Skyward Sword Wii. I played Twilight Princess Wii. I played Wind Waker Wii. I think that was Wii, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was either, no, it might have been Wii U. I had it on the Wii U.
Well, it's still
No,
that.
I think
still that console.
I think it's that console.
I think we forget about the Wii U.
I think honestly, a lot of people do.
Everybody forgets about the Wii
When
U.
the tech demo is number 6 on the top 10 games list.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Wii U was just like such a weird thing. It was such a strange console that came out.
They were trying to do the Switch, and then they did the Switch correctly.
See, the Wii U is interesting because it's one of those failed consoles that just pops up. Like, you hear of, like, the Famicom or something like that, where, like, people know of it, but no one really used it.
Yeah, no one knows.
Yeah, no one really used it. Like, literally, the Famicom's like a MatPat game theory question. Like,
it's like, where did it go?
Yeah, what happened to it?
Like I think that's kind of the vibe I was getting with the PSP, like the PlayStation Portable. Is that like a very select niche group of people like used it and played it often, but like outside of that, you did not see much about it at all. Like you didn't see games come out on the PSP. You didn't see anything. But I remember like as a kid like seeing like one dude have it out of the school of like 500 kids, or not 500 kids, but like more than that.
Kind of got overshadowed by the DS.
Yeah, no, the DS was an excellent.
Lord.
Excellent.
DS.
Oh my goodness.
The DS had Zelda games on it. It had actually pretty decent Zelda games on it too.
I want to talk about that for a second because I fucking love Zelda. Like to an extent where if I had been introduced to it earlier, I think I would have been Ethan level, like loving the game. But like seriously, I got my first DS when I was 17. Like, and I just because I never had that as a child. I know, right? I never had it as a child, so I just decided, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it for myself because I want to play the games.
How much
did
you get it for?
I got it for $20. $20.
The original DS?
Like original DS?
No.
Do 3DS.
3DS.
Oh,
You're kidding.
No, not XL, just the regular 3DS
I
for
love
$20.
The 3DS was my shit.
Because
Dude,
there
the
was
3DS
this,
XL was so much better.
there
I
was
still
this
have that shit.
I never played the
affluent
XL.
family
that sounds
who
way better. It's
owned
on the
multiple copies of a DS. Like, they had every generation of the DS, and I'm like, hey, would you guys mind selling that to me? And one of the younger people in there was just like, yeah, you can have mine for $20. I'm like, you sure you don't want more? Because, like, I feel like a 3DS could sell for upwards of, like, $100, dude. I'll give you, like, 50. And he said, no, 20's good. And he sold me 2 Pokemon games for combined $20.
Wait, which Pokemon game?
It was XY and, oh my gosh, Alpha Sapphire.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a grand total of like $40 worth of games. If he gave you,
No,
if
bro,
you, if he gave,
what are you talking about? Those things are each $60 now.
Now?
dude,
Yeah,
if he,
now. They're
well, you want to know how much
insanely
black and
expensive.
white are?
Oh, I know.
200.
Yeah.
I know.
White
Black.
are
No,
I
I want to play
am
Black
so
and White so
sad.
much. I want to play it so
I am so
much,
sad
dude.
that I can't play black and white anymore because I love that generation to death, and I can't get it for under $200.
There wasn't there
People
one
are
ad-
selling the case and the manual for $150 as
Wasn't
a
there-
collector's item.
Oh Lord. So
right,
I
moving back to the
continuing
topics.
that story really quick. The most recent game that I bought for my 3DS was actually the remastered version of Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
And-
that was my first Zelda game.
Oh my Lord. It legitimately changed my perspective on the Zelda game because this was before I played Breath of the Wild, and shivers down my spine, like absolute shivers.
Ocarina was Ocarina sadly is lower on my list. I love that game like to pieces, but certain things of like I don't know if it was just like the timing of when I found the game, but it was also like it just felt like I could never open my DS and immediately play it, like get onto it and like spend a lot of time.
I understand that. I feel the DS is an interesting platform for that game. If it got remastered to the Switch, I think it would legitimately be.
Oh, Ocarina
No,
of Time. And if any
they
one of
can't.
the
They
Zelda
should
games,
not remaster that game though again.
No, I don't. Think
It's
they
the
should.
it's like the sky. It's like
It's
the
a money
Skyrim
grab, I
thing.
think.
It's
a-
like we
If-
need Wind Waker. We need Twilight Princess more than we need.
my lord, a
Than we need.
Twilight
if
Princess
Twilight
remake?
Princess got onto the Switch, I'm not leaving my room.
I just
That is okay.
I
My
just need
first,
Elder Scrolls 5.
my first. Okay, my first
That's
Zelda
like
game.
Lane's contribution to this conversation.
My
God.
first Zelda game personally
up.
was Ocarina of Time Remastered. That
No,
was the
that
first
was-
Zelda game
that
I
was
ever.
me too.
That was the first Zelda game I ever played. And then after that was Majora's Mask, and then after that all of all of the spin-off games like Triforce Heroes and Link Between Worlds, all on the 3DS. And then I got when I broke my arm, I was looking for games to play that I could play with my broken arm, and I found Twilight Princess, and that is my favorite game so far.
Yeah.
And then Breath of the Wild, obviously, but
For
I-
context about... All right, no, go ahead, Ethan.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, for context about my contribution to these, it's going to be mostly questions for me because literally I have not touched a Zelda game or seen much about them until
You have.
until
yeah.
coming to you until coming here
to university. Yeah.
to university.
To university. Nice save. Nice save.
Let's
Let's go.
we need to make a logo for that and put it over just
I want a sweatshirt that says university instead of college.
Yeah, it's so true.
Actually, pin that up.
I go to college university.
But literally, I didn't touch a Zelda game until I came here, and then Ethan introduced me to like Skyward Sword, which I am really enjoying. I've been on and off with like games, at least in this room, because I
That's
play
so
stuff in my
true.
own room. Like I started Dark Souls 1, and I have not gotten very far. And then same with Skyward Sword, but I really do like it. It's like a completely different genre for me. I don't normally play games like Zelda, so like feeling out how Skyward Sword plays is actually it's an experience. It's really fun. It's different. It's new. It's like I was never a Nintendo kid. I always had like PS3 and like I guess DS, but all I really
You
played
said it
on
was
DS.
like it was a slur, dude. I'm a Nintendo kid.
That's
It's like
because it
iPad
is.
kid.
oh,
Oh, okay, no, that's a slur.
Yeah, that's different. That's
that is-
completely
that is a-
different.
That's a
That's a
slur.
No, but like literally, I
Gain of viewers.
really didn't become a gamer until like sophomore year of high school, where I was playing on my PC like often. So like I never touched a Zelda game. Skyward Sword's my introduction, and so this is really this episode's really geared towards those guys, but like it is interesting to see like the difference in like how things work. Come on.
Now, I want to ask a question to Ethan really quick. So one of the things that stands out to me about Zelda games is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fan-flippin-tastic.
That is
Oh,
one
and
thing I
pretty-
do know about the
literally-
Zelda games.
So
Every Zelda game comes out, and there's always that one track that's just like.
no, I don't know, dude. There are so many that are great. But for Ethan specifically, what's the best song?
What is the best Zelda song?
You can't do this to me, bro.
You gotta do a number one.
And
Hey,
as a
hey,
quick
hey.
reminder, let's nobody hum it.
Yeah. It sucks because I wish I could show people the song. I mean, I guess I could just like have you guys listen or look it up.
Yeah, just
It's-
say the title.
Aiden, you're humming right now, buddy.
Let's not get a Nintendo copyright strike. Oh, that's one thing Nintendo is notorious about. Is
copyright
for people
strikes.
who don't know.
So we gotta be very careful. We are playing nondescript adventure games.
Oh,
just like our
Wow.
nondescript college.
is
So-
that your favorite song? Holy
Wait,
cow!
yeah.
I got a sneak
So
peek.
okay, so there's so many good ones, and again, it's just tied to the reason why I like Skyward Sword and stuff. But if you guys look up Skyloft Village, and it's one that I've played so many times, but it's such a it's one of those that you can put in the background of literally any video ever or any event ever, and it's just very like low key and like
Right.
Well,
it's
you
fantastic.
couldn't put it in the
Is-
background of anything.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I love Nintendo.
That's, yeah,
So
I
so
wish.
Is this what you listen to when I'm on calls with my girlfriend?
Yeah. I listened to remixed versions of like the huge, just like the videos you can find online of like Zelda relaxing music, and it's just like the bass boosted, like not relaxing at
it's
all.
Zelda
But
Skrillex.
it's what does that mean?
Zelda remixes.
If we could do style.
Dude, it's just like the slowed and reverbed, like.
Oh my god.
Hey, no, that's my thing.
I think also like an honorable mention, the Goron town.
Dude,
We've been listening to that recently.
Literally, so there is this guy on YouTube. His name's Christopher Bill. He does music strictly with trombones because he's very talented. And he does these videos called Video Game Symphonies. And oh my lord, we've been listening to those so many times recently. One that stands out is the Goron town, or what village one. It just fantastic.
Also, that like the Gerudo Valley song. I know these two were talking about it. What do you think about Gerudo Valley? Because I
think it's fantastic.
It's not my favorite, but it's pretty good.
No, it's number one for me.
that
That and Song of Storms are my number one and number two.
Dude, I'm just gonna say
Actually-
now, basic take.
Song of Storms. I forgot about that. That's pretty good.
Song of
That's
Storms
pretty good.
is one of my favorites.
Everyone says Song
Oh
of
my god,
Storms.
that's how I found out old band teacher. He was into Zelda. That's how I found out is because over
band teacher.
nondescript old band teacher from our high school. We figured out that I figured out that he was into nerdy stuff and Zelda and all that because over quarantine he decided to give us an assignment to learn to play a short piece of our choice. And so I decided to learn Song of Storms and I play the trumpet, so it sounded okay.
Hey, me too.
But I learned the Song of Storms on trumpet and I turned it in and he responded with I got it 100 on that. And he responded with like such enthusiasm, and I'm like, "Oh crap, he likes Zelda."
That's our
He's
old
like,
band
I-
teacher was so cool.
Yeah, no,
he played
was
through.
legitimately pretty cool.
What was
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, he played through. Oh no, he played through Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword. That was the one that I went through and talked about. He honestly thought it was a little boring, which was heartbreaking. Like it hurt so bad. Actually, I will give it to you. If we're gonna I just want to finish because we're gonna go through a bunch of games today. Skyward Sword has a section that I'm not going to I'm not gonna go into like story beats, but there's a section where you basically spend 2 to 3 hours collecting little beads that don't do anything.
It's giving me Korok seed
And
vibes.
they don't help you. They progress story per se, like it's just a next objective, but it's literally they don't benefit your armor, they don't benefit anything. It's just grab these things for this dude and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you go on. And
Skyrim
so that
Fetch
was
Quest?
I really was like going back. I played through when it got remastered on Switch, which was fantastic. But I went back and I just took the time to kind of just was like, oh, okay, let's see if this game upholds how much I've thought about it recently, because I did have thoughts about it for a while. And that section I did was like, this is not so fun. But yeah.
Okay, so really quick, Ethan. I do know that there's a new Zelda game coming out, or it's
Tears
Breath
of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild 2, pretty much. And I know that Breath of the Wild, with my little knowledge, I know that Breath of the Wild is an incredibly excellent game, and that you do really like Breath of the Wild.
Yes, sir.
So, what's one change to Breath of the Wild that you want for Tears of the Kingdom?
Okay, so this was I got sort of prepared questions here. I was a brief, but I didn't really think about them much. This was the question that I knew I'd be stumped on. But if I was to be fully honest, it was a video I watched recently. There are locations in Breath of the Wild, such as this. It's oh my god, the lore in that game is crazy. The aspect of Breath of the Wild is basically Breath of the Wild is set 100 years after the Great Calamity, where Link, the person you play as, dies in battle with a bunch of people. Shut it. And he dies protecting Zelda and the champions die as well. And so basically the entire story takes place before the game, if that makes sense. You're not picking up many story beats as you play,
Gotcha.
other than just beat the big bad.
So there's no little lore books hidden around the world.
It is, so you learn more about the story beforehand. You're
Okay.
learning, like, as you play the game, you're learning more about what happened before rather than anything that's happening what you're doing at the moment.
Like Skyrim.
Sort of, yeah.
Like where you can find like little lore books around, like
Yeah,
about like all the stuff that happened in like the Skyrim, like war between the Aldmeri Dominion, like the elves and the humans.
It's the stuff that is the thing that I think I would want changed. Is there is a fantastic moment or a fantastic place. I can't remember what it's called, but these guys may know about it. I know you possibly will. But it's a place where one of the towers are in Breath of the Wild, where you can get like a map piece, and it's this huge castle that goes up, and it's guarded by the flying guardians.
You're talking about the main place.
It's not the main castle. It's a different separate one with a tower.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it has a bunch of malice over it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that part,
that place is actually what I found out, like, when you go around, is the last point in which the Hyrulean army made their stand against the what's it called? The Guardians. And they killed everyone there, but they lasted up there for, like, almost a week.
That's
just
sick,
fighting
dude.
off Guardians as they came up.
That's sick.
I'm gonna be honest. I have the entire map unlocked. I do not remember that.
I do
Hold
remember
on.
it.
I can probably show it to you.
Yeah,
here.
it is
I'll look
kind
it up
of
on mine.
a smaller old castle place. It's kind of it reminded me of there's this one place very similar to that because you go to the towers to unlock map areas. One part for me that was really difficult was it was like a lake of lava or something like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't touch it. You couldn't touch the lava, obviously. And you had to get through it with all of these enemies nearby. And they just... that one really got my goat. Because it also had an ice person there, too. Which was... Oh, Lord. You don't even ask me, why is there an ice person in the lava area? No idea, but it was there, and it annoyed the absolute heck out of me, dude. I was so annoyed.
Oh, I found it.
But
You did?
honestly,
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
that
like,
location.
I feel like a lot of these places give a really good challenge.
This area. The Akala Citadel. And just I love things that are citadels.
Oh,
that
yeah.
word is just so
Citadel.
yeah.
It's got that thing.
But I don't know if I can put up a picture. If I could, then maybe.
I would not try.
But if
I wouldn't.
yeah, I'll look through.
I wouldn't anger our Nintendo gods.
Oh my god, it's so annoying that I can't do that though. But yeah, I think honestly that is like my favorite. Like if they can take this location, which this location you can't go into, you can only climb the outside. If they can, because at the end of this game, you basically win. That's the aspect.
Yeah.
If from that point in which the next stuff happens, we can get like what's it called? That maybe that place like reworked or just other places in the map. I know there's gonna be dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom. There's gonna be there's gonna be a high level that we've seen in the trailers, and there's also gonna be a crap ton of dungeons, and I'm so excited for that.
Are you
That sounds like really fun.
excited for these? Is it going to be Skyward Sword-esque in the air?
I
Is it-
genuinely think like this game, if they do it right, it will be my favorite game
Well,
and
what
or
are you-
Zelda game.
Are you hoping for it to be a direct sequel of Breath of the Wild? Like, what are you hoping for with Ganon, the big bad?
So
what do you think is going to happen with that, and what are you hoping for?
from what I've seen, honestly, I think so. This is gonna touch a little bit into story. It is sort of a spoiler, but the whole aspect of Skyward Sword is it's the first game, and it sets up the curse of the Legend of Zelda. Is that there's always going to be a princess, there's always going to be a swordsman that protects her, and there's always going to be a calamity or some evil after them for the rest of everything. And it all sets up in this one game. And that's a reason why I love it, is because it's so great. But in this aspect, it's like, I'm not sure if I'd want to see it again. I'm not sure. Like, we've already seen sort of like what looks like Ganon in one of the trailers. That'd be cool. Like, I genuinely like it. But I'm honestly more interested in the little, like, this, it looks old. It's been explained in other things. I'm not that into, like, the old lore of Legend of Zelda. But it's this, like, creature thing with a bunch of tears around it. So Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
But it has another connection to Skyward Sword. You go and you enter this like realm in Skyward Sword where you have to find tears. And I think if they incorporate that into the game, like this realm is like they chase you. It is like a hunt. You have to hide. You have to basically survive. You can't fight them. It's just like grab and run. If they can add that to this game, I'm more interested, honestly, in that than I think Ganon or anything opposing that.
I think that's a really good point as well. I think Ganon, for me, really was the quintessential big bad. I don't think I've ever seen a enemy in a game that affected me more than him. Maybe Diablo and Diablo 3, because that was very impactful. But seeing Ganon for the first time in any of his forms was just, ooh, oh my lord. But yeah, I think those are all really good takes, and I'm just so excited because 2023, my guy. 2023.
Honestly, if there's
it's the week of like the end of finals week,
It is
right?
pretty much finals week.
Oh my god, I can't.
Oh no.
Oh lord.
Oh god, do we do finals or do we become
right.
I know the answer to that. We procrastinate.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Who needs finals?
Absolutely.
Who tested their 5-page essay on Chinese culture?
That's kind of the thing we got going on right now.
No, but there's also talk of possibly a new Switch coming out with it with better hardware.
I don't want to talk about that.
That hurts my wallet.
It hurts my soul too because they just are. The Switch is such a perfect console.
It is,
and oh my lord, they are milking that.
It
is
literally
full cash cow.
No,
if they
put out a new
honest,
Switch, it probably will outsell any console ever.
The new Switch needs to come out. It sucks, but what we have right now is like there's literally talk about this game, Tears of the Kingdom, not going to be able to run on the current Switch that we have right now.
Which is stupid.
Which they obviously can't release a game that can't run on the hardware they sell. So either they cut it down to shit,
right?
Which we are hoping not. Or
that
they make a better hardware for the Switch and sell it like the Switch 2 or the Switch Elite or something.
That's what people have been talking
Switch
about.
Pro.
Is like this is a separate sort of topic, but how they set up the Switch was Zelda on release, and then Mario Odyssey I think on release or very close. And so you had and then that's also talk of Mario Odyssey 2 and what's that's going to be is that a repeating year and kind of
dude. If Mario Odyssey gets a second one, I'm not. Sorry guys, summer be damned. I'm not leaving my room.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My plan was to get a job at a nursing agency over the summer.
Broke college student, I cannot afford to be doing anything else other than working.
Oh my god! But Nintendo, free time.
I'm gonna keep it fully real though. They're one of the only gaming agencies right now that I'm like, I'll buy it at $60.
Yeah, no,
I'll buy it at $60.
It's one of those gaming agencies where it's kind of worth it at $60 sometimes.
No. The only one worth $60 at the time because of all the hype and pre-release and everything was Elden Ring, which I bought at $60, and I cannot run it on my PC. Because I am a broke college student.
I'll wait that.
Oh, yeah.
Shut
up. All right. Moving on to another question. This was a question that I came up with earlier today. So, Link has used a lot of items over the course of all of the Zelda games. What do you think is the best Zelda item? The quintessential item.
It goes back to Skyward Sword every single time, and I get so
Bow does not count, because bow's in every game and it's basic.
Well, Master Sword. I mean...
I'm talking like an item, like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like a used...
If we're gonna go the cop-out answer is the Master Sword is the coolest thing to have gone to a game ever. When you have a weapon that is just quintessential good and it's used everywhere, oh my god.
Because it's known as the hero and his sword.
Right.
It's
also
of the story.
Of Evil's Bane.
Which is that's also the aspect of that's Skyward Sword stuff. Spoilers,
like Thorn in Destiny.
Thorn?
No, that would be Lumina.
I don't know what that means. Destiny's not my.
I'm the expert on Destiny.
We'll get an episode
we'll get an
far in the
episode
future, years in the future, even.
Regime stands supreme.
I can't wait.
I think honestly, if I were to think of a, I don't know, the chain, this was Matt a GT Live. There's two, the dragon scale in Skyward Sword is really cool. Oh, even the beetle thing, the little beetle thing that
the
you
beetle
shoot
thing's
off
actually
and
pretty
it
cool.
it goes and flies away. That was really
in
cool.
Skyward Sword, yeah.
And in Ocarina, there's a hook shot, that you fire and it
that
brings
thing
you.
was
It's
so
also in
cool,
Skyward
dude.
Sword as well.
The hook shots
That's-
in a lot of the hook shot and the bow are usually in most of the 3D Zelda games because honestly, I think the long shot is better than
What
the hook
is-
shot just because it's the hook shot but longer and better.
Oh, actually, honestly, if this is like a key item for Breath of the Wild, if they didn't have that friggin' paraglider, people would not play that game.
That's actually so
I'm not
cool,
even
though.
joking. Like
No,
that
if they
game would
didn't
be
have
dead.
the paraglider, it would never have taken
And
off.
plus, that was revolutionary at the time.
That's funny.
Leighton trying to contribute to this conversation is
what
so
I know,
funny.
what I know about what I know about Zelda items are what I've gotten in Skyward Sword, which is not much because I haven't gotten very far.
I'm gonna
into
make
it.
you hop on Breath of the Wild after this.
Please do.
Yeah.
No,
And
actually,
the only other
seriously.
other thing I know are the items in terminal montages, like animation of the any percent speed run where he's like. Link is like hopping off like the goblins or whatever they are, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's so
Little
fun."
time bounce.
Actually,
Little time
it is
bounce.
so funny.
All of the runes for the Sheik tablet count.
I do have a
Yeah.
More magnetism.
I didn't really like those. A lot of people
Really?
actually. My mic's sorry. I didn't really like those. If people didn't hear that. To be fully honest, I think that aspect is something that people really want changed. A large part of the community wants either no tablet, like no Sheikah abilities, or
No way,
really fully
really?
revamped, like how he has the time stuff.
Actually-
people, that's cool.
I'm gonna keep it real. I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I found myself not really using the Sheikah tablet often. I'm gonna let you get a drink of
No,
water.
honestly, the Sheikah tablet, I used magnetism, stasis, and bombs.
Okay.
I didn't-
Well, actually, no. I will say the
That's
Sheikah
one
abilities, like
aspect.
bombs and stuff like that, that is
That's the
key for
abilities, but-
speedrunning. Like that is kind of just like how it goes, I guess. I honestly I've been so I would say hookshot and the beetle item. The dragon scale is an honorable mention. The dragon scale allows you to twirl in the air. Sorry. Oh yeah, and actually.
Oh no!
Oh lord.
Man,
No, I'll pick the glider. I'll pick the glider. Actually, the glider literally makes that game.
Do you want a Milky Way or a Snickers?
Yeah, no, seriously, I'm going full Leighton right now. But yeah, I think honestly, glider I would say is my favorite item.
Interesting choice.
So I wanted to ask really quick. We touched a little bit on this. You mentioned a speedrunner who was playing Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Leighton.
Well, so terminal montage, the guy who he does like a bunch of animations. For
he does a bunch of silly animations like that overemphasize like different comedy aspects of doing things.
So I have watched a few speedrunners as well. I think we.
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
we.
this is the reason
For
why I got into
context.
speedrunning is two
Yeah,
people.
because
For context,
was-
terminal montage did an animation of a Breath of the
Oh
Wild.
yeah, I've seen that video.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
think
trying
I
to
have
say.
too. But for actual speedrunners, like full on, it was Small Ant for me.
Yep.
Small Ant.
Small
was,
Ant and Point Crow.
Point
Yeah,
Crow, too.
dude,
Yeah.
they're such entertaining people. Ludwig also
They
did.
didn't really do it. But
No, he did the Great Plateau, and he also explained. That was also a
Well-
really big thing of explaining how specifically to do.
Was it Point Crow or Ant
The exploits.
who helped with him?
It was Small Ant. I
It
think.
was Small Ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I know
No,
that
it
you
was Small
have
Ant.
dipped into speedrunning. Can you tell me about your experiences? Because to me, doing like the BTBs and stuff like
Mhm.
that, like where you launch yourself into the airs and stuff like that.
What?
Yes, Leighton.
I could talk a little bit about speedrunning, only in Katana Zero though.
did you
Well, we-
actually speedrun?
Oh yeah, no, I was like legitimately like trying to speedrun Katana Zero. Like
Well, so-
no slow mo, no nothing.
I
Like,
remember
flying through that hard
I
mode.
was one of the best speedrunners with Diablo 3 for 3-player for a while there.
That's
No,
sick.
Yeah, Diablo 3. That was my speedrun game, and it involved a lot of minute just map going through and shit like that. It was whack as fuck, but fun as
I'm
hell.
bad at
So-
video games.
I remember you
The
telling me
key-
about the listening to different sounds, like the different cues would tell you exactly where things
Yeah,
were.
exactly where things were,
Like, that's
just by
nuts.
the smallest twinge in the sounds being different. Like, it was really whack.
That's
The
interesting.
key thing about speedrunning, so speedrunning, for people, I assume a lot of people know about this, but one of the changes about speedrunning, you're playing the game as fast as you can, but one of the things that makes a speedrun legit is that you have to record it and you have to do it live.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that there's a VOD up there of you doing it live and people watching you and legitimizing that you've done it. If you don't, it's illegitimate, so that basically means mine were. I speedran just because of those content creators. Like, I did that because it was enjoyable to me and it was fun to just, like, kind of just where I was, like, sit and like, do that. So one of the big things about speedrunning Breath of the Wild was bullet time bounce, or BTB.
VTVs, dude.
Bullet time bounces are basically where you're using two bombs to move one of the bombs into the air to kick yourself off. It's an exploit. It basically is breaking the game. But it is one thing that has been put into the game, and they haven't updated it, haven't changed it, they haven't fixed it. And for so long, I honestly probably couldn't do it right now. I probably would take me about, like, maybe 2 days to get it fully back. But it is, like, once you get right in that certain pixel area, like, you've got it. And it's honestly kind of easier with certain things, like holding out your shield versus your sword and all those other things. Some other ones, I honestly don't know the names of many of them. There's, like, the biggest one that allows you to exploit the entire run, which is you clip through the walls and all the shrines and stuff, and you have to do it in the very beginning shrine or it doesn't work. But also, like, jumping off of really tall heights and then taking out your, like, axe or shield and stuff, and it cancels fall damage. Realistically, it's just about also, like, early game, it's all of the exploit stuff, and then late game, it's just, or, like, late game per se, is just getting to the castle and knowing the route to get to the castle.
Yeah, we want to talk about the one exploit that
kills the when you get into, so the main thing about Breath of the Wild is that the whole, we've talked about it on another episode, you can kill the big bad immediately. You don't have to do anything other than that. You can just go straight to the boss room, kill him.
Cool.
If you do that, though, and you don't go off and kill the 4 other bosses that are across the map, those ones will show up at that big fight. So you'll have to kill all 4 of those first, and then the big bad.
So, let me ask, what is the routing for that game? Because you generally, I mean, in my casual playthroughs, I went through and I just beat the 4 mechanical beasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the big bad. That was how it went for me.
Sounds like Terraria.
You do the first... You did the
They're
first
technically called
4 shrines, right?
Yeah.
Where you get all of your Sheikah stuff. And then do you just go directly to the castle?
It's literally, it's after you get all the 4 shrines, it's right to the castle, and dependent on whether or not, actually no, I think it is required of what I did, is you just go around the key points in the castle that have super upgraded weapons, grab those, and then you go to the big fight. The exploit that is in the castle is literally a pixel perfect area when you walk into the atrium, where you fire an arrow at a certain point before the cutscene happens, and when you step into the cutscene, it instantly kills the first boss, which allows you to go into the next 3.
Dang.
And that was one, I think I got it twice. That was it. And other than that, I just, like, would kill the first one, because it's very, very, very hard.
I think it's crazy that people just, like, find this stuff. Moving on.
Getting
yeah.
into it, what weapons do you use for speedrunning against the big bad?
mop.
Mop was one. I did the point crow
Did the
thing.
mop.
Yeah, it's a
No
mod that you can
way.
do with with like PCs and stuff. And I did it at a buddy's house, and it was hilarious. It is also very difficult, but that's an entire other thing. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in so long. Like, I'm not in the mindset of, like, all of the names of the swords and stuff. But it's the giant blade, just basically all of the big weapons.
That you
The
find.
Royal Claymore, I think, is one of them.
If I remember,
Isn't it Liz Falso boomerang? Like a trifold?
yeah, the
boomerang?
trifold.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
you
one's...
need a boomerang for one of them, I believe.
Yeah, that
I'm
one's...
just remembering the terminal montage, honestly.
That one's... It's decent. I can't remember if that's used. I think I honestly just fought the first 4. And then would go to the big bad. I didn't use any... Once I got to the castle, it wasn't really exploit stuff. It was just try to kill them, which kind of cost my run, but...
It's such an interesting game to speedrun because, truthfully, it is, in my opinion, one of the most interesting games to try to play fast.
Oh, yeah. Because there's so many exploits that you can do to just friggin' launch yourself.
Oh, absolutely. But also, at the same time, having to balance, having very few hearts and your stamina and things like that, like not having any of those upgrades at a low level, and then continually having to balance between, I don't have this type of armor which would really help me in this scenario, I don't have the Master Sword, I don't have things like that, because for me the Master Sword was the big reason I was able to beat Ganon in the way that I did. Because, it's the Master
The Master Sword is also just, like, one of the coolest weapons to use against Ganon.
Oh, and when you
That's
unlock
so
it...
cool.
Since we were talking about the Switch not being able to run the second game, my Switch buffered whenever I went to the Korok village. Like, I have like
it would lag.
It would lag
Yeah.
so bad.
It's because
Whenever-
the mist. It's the
it's
mist
the
is
mist,
horrible
yeah.
to render.
But when I remember... It was the cutscene of me getting the Master Sword out, and it was so clunky, dude. It was so bad.
That's another exploit that we could talk about, the fact that you can get the Master Sword at any amount of hearts by simply lighting a fire.
Oh, yeah. I actually did not know about that one.
No,
I
you
didn't...
can place it down. I don't think it's lighting a fire. I think you can literally just place down a bundle of wood next to it, and if you look at a certain angle and do like a certain input of keys, it tricks the game into skipping the cutscene and just allowing you to pick up the Master Sword.
Yeah, I honestly didn't do... I did 100% stuff without exploits. I was kind of just like, I wanted to do the entire game by itself. But yeah, I think that's really my speedrunning experience, I guess.
All right. This is another question that I was intrigued about. What do you believe is the best boss fight in the entirety of Zelda?
Okay, I'm looking it up. Honestly, I think it's this one. I don't know, because I can't remember Twilight Princess that much. Honestly, it's been so long. I remember it so
long ago. I wish I still had my Wii and Twilight Princess. I sold them both.
I looked up
I regret
best
it
boss
so hard.
fights Zelda because I just wanted to see if I was gonna say something like
cookie in our
Skyward Sword-esque, and so, there was like gonna be like
not even joking.
like a big one that I probably should mention. But one of this is Tantalus, and it's this giant squid creature in Skyward Sword, and it is one of, if not the worst fight I have ever partaken in, because it's mind-numbing. It is like, and that is the one bad I will give to Skyward Sword, is that there's a fight in later, and like it's the second half of the game, I believe. It's like, it's not even fun. It's just you're sitting there, and it's like, it literally takes no skill per se, I would say, and it's also not entertaining. If I was gonna be fully real though, y'all may have to close your ears because I want you to.
For Skyward? Or
Yeah, I'm gonna say one real quick.
I don't care.
I'm gonna listen to it because I'm playing this game. Actually, no, I need to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be playing this game very soon.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
Oh, Lord, dude.
I don't care about spoilers.
You probably won't play it just yet, but these two need to. My honestly favorite is Demise in Skyward Sword. Put your ears. No,
I
because I'm gonna
could hear
explain.
it no matter what.
No,
I could
you.
hear
I
it
was.
no
I
matter
was
what.
holding over. You read it, but it's the. I'm gonna talk about the fight
No,
itself.
I could hear
Your
it through
ears.
me plugging
No,
my ears.
no, better.
can't hear it
Where do we have headphones? I don't know. We play brown noise in your ears.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna be able to hear it no matter what.
I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it for him. So yeah, but Demise honestly is my favorite. It's, oh my god, that I think I don't even know how to describe it. It like, I can't really describe it because I don't want to spoil it. But you use the culmination of everything because it's the final fight. The culmination of everything you learned, and then what happens at the end after you defeat him is just, oh my god, it's crazy. It's literally crazy.
Honestly, for me, Ocarina of Time has the most memorable boss fights.
Whoa, which ones? Go for it.
Well, the Forest Temple, first of all. Having like obviously they're very simple because even in the remastered versions, they're
Well, the Forest Temple was shit.
the
Okay,
Forest Temple was fine.
No, it was not.
I played through
and
that
by
this-
shit, I mean it was just difficult.
No, I played through that the second time, and I was just like, "Oh yeah,
Like,
why did I
showed?
find this difficult?" But no, the
No
Forest
comment.
Temple for me, the Ganon fight in the Ganondorf fight in the Forest Temple, that's always sticks out in my mind
For
because
Twilight Princess.
no, for Ocarina of
Ocarina.
Time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Twilight Princess one because the Twilight Princess Ganondorf fight
Do you have
Oh.
Twilight Princess? Do you own it?
at my house. Yeah,
Do you have a Wii?
yeah, I have a Wii.
Bring.
Bring the Wii. here?
Bring. I will.
Okay, I can bring it.
Please. I want to play it again so bad. I just looked up a Wii. I looked up the Wii U, and
Oh,
it's
dude.
$200.
That was another game.
Wow.
That
That
I,
was
the Wii U.
that
Dude,
was
if we
another-
got a Wii U and played Twilight, I would.
So
my mind.
that was another game I speedran for the Wii, the old Mario Kart games.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I was
I love
literally
Mario Kart.
to the point where I was speedrunning and never got on top anywhere because the speedrunners from Mario Kart Wii are nuts. Crazy
Literally
people.
nuts.
But I remember I was even pulling off some of like the crazy stuff that I've never done before. Oh my lord, dude. Oh my lord.
no, but I've
should start
always
speedrunning Wii.
I've always remembered the Ocarina of Time boss fights. The Forest Temple was great. I'm forgetting what the Fire Temple was, for some reason. It was the.
Oh yeah,
It was the Slam Dragon. I remember where you
Yeah.
had to use the hammer to slam its head.
Mhm.
Water Temple was mid. It was just the fucking ball. It was a little ball with electricity that did tentacles. The Ghost Temple I fucking loved. The drum.
I don't think
Ghost
so.
Temple?
The Shadow Temple.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah,
the with the
yeah.
guy who would go dong ga-dong ga-dong. He would literally drum.
Actually, that's so cool. It reminds me of that one.
It was so cool because the drumming went with his own boss music.
I
Like
know,
he was as he was attacking, he was physically drumming his own boss music to attack you.
Thinking back on it, it's like that one dude in Demon Slayer that's like, dong,
Yeah, literally.
dong.
No, but the entire arena was a drum. So he was two floating hands and a head. So he would just go dong ga-dong ga-dong and just attack you while also drumming to the beat of his own boss theme. That and the Sand Temple or the Light Temple or something with the Twin Witches.
Which
That was fun.
That
Which-
one was so sick.
was
dude.
it Mario Kart on the 3DS that had like the bomb boss fight, but it was Mario Kart?
Yes, actually, yes, I remember that.
I don't know why.
No,
that reminds
I
me of
remember that.
Hmm.
Actually, I want to retract my answer from that Light Temple. The Twin Witches are cool, but the Twin Centipedes of Majora's Mask were even better.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get to use the Giant's Mask after you beat the first centipede.
That entire game scares the living shit
Oh,
out of
it's
me.
fantastic.
Fucking,
It's the darkest one that I'd seen.
so
Twilight
Majora's
Princess, I
Mask
think,
has a
is
special place in my heart
No,
because I
Twilight
played it the
Princess or
first
Majora's
time.
Mask?
I played it the first time. I never got the Fierce Deities Mask. I beat Majora.
The coolest thing in that game.
I beat Majora plain.
So, I will say,
I am a
we
masochist. It's
probably
okay.
don't have too much time left, but one question I just need to ask. What is the most memorable moment you have from playing a Zelda game?
Yeah, I remember bringing this up as a
Because,
question.
Lord, there are so many which just blow my mind. Yeah.
Bro, I don't know. I honestly think returning to Skyward Sword. It's literally my answer. Skyward Sword. People are gonna be watching this. Like some Zelda nerd out there is like, "Yo, this kid is not an expert. What are you talking
Dude,
about? He just
so
like Skyward Sword."
There's another RA who was doing rounds during our break, and we chatted with her because right during the break, and we were talking about the Zelda games, and we're just like, oh, Leighton needs to play the Breath of the Wild games, and well, the game, I guess, games soon, and she's just like, yes, you need to play that, and we're just like, well, we're talking about it right now, and he's like, yeah, I've only played a little bit of Skyward Sword, and she goes, oh, that game's dog.
That game
No
was
way,
dog.
she said that.
Yeah, she did. She did.
Funny.
Oh my god.
That game is just like that game
Hey, no,
sucks.
it really is. It's because of the perceived thing that happened with Wii. It really did suck, and I will give it to you. It was awful. It was so hard to get through that game. Honestly, I don't think I finished it on the Wii. I finished it here on the Switch, and it was such... I think the reason why is because there is a moment in Skyward Sword at the very end, the final wrap-up of the game, where you realize something that has been sitting in front of your face for the entire game.
Wait, a Skyward Sword?
Yeah. It's been sitting there the entire time. And also, like, I guess, like, I knew another aspect that was really, really cool. But, like, I just, like, figuring that out, and then just the backstory and the lore of the curse and all that, like, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, moments I've had. Another, I would say, is also just finishing Breath of the Wild for the first time.
Like flashbacks to Twilight Princess.
Dude,
Damn,
I don't know
You gotta
if-
bring that Wii, please, if you can.
I'm gonna be fully real, like, the aspect of, I don't know if I could pay enough money in the world. Like, if I could pay money to put up, if I could put up, like, to play Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, and Twilight Princess for the first time.
Oh,
Man.
If I could do that, like, that's the aspect of Undertale. Like, I've never, since the last episode we were talking about Undertale, I started it. I was a little worried about, like, the fandom-esque, like, all the nerd stuff that came out of it. And we genuinely had a great time. Like, that game is hilarious.
God.
Dude, the thing is, he's not even maybe a quarter of the way through the game.
I'm
right
like
now.
2
not even
hours in,
close.
maybe.
Yeah, he's probably a quarter of the way through the game right now, and he's like, this game's so much longer than I thought it was.
I
No,
legitimately
it
thought it
isn't.
was only gonna be like 3 hours, and then I
No.
checked the thing is like fucking 22. Like,
Yeah,
jeez.
no. Undertale's huge. It's
so good.
such a good game. We were laughing our ass. So one of my favorite things to do is the Papyrus voice. I was I was reading all of Papyrus's lines. It's midnight. It's midnight. Everyone's asleep. It's a weekday. I'm probably annoying the neighbors while I'm reading Papyrus's lines. Like,
Also, he could do that voice so well, for real though.
the great Papyrus.
I mean, I actually-
it's gonna sound dog on this mic.
I
but
guess I
that's
haven't.
okay.
I guess I haven't.
It is dog.
Hey man, it was good. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm used to the Jack. I'm used to the.
I'm sorry I can't be Jacksepticeye.
I'm sorry, I'm
that's
used to
also,
that
yeah.
one.
I am not an Irish. I am not a fucking Irish god.
True.
The Gaelic god.
Okay, that's insane.
That's actually incredible.
That's actually now. Holy crap,
What the hell?
bro's really got to do some.
Fucking
voice
that
acting
game.
for
That game
fans?
is
I
absolutely
didn't
incredible.
post my. Oh my god.
No.
Appreciate
I didn't-
it.
That's okay, that's okay.
Pain.
So now that all of our questions are answered,
Or most of
it's
them.
time
We're gonna
to
be
move
joining for
on
nerdy news.
to
We're gonna get the audience of nerdy news.
All right, so
Insert,
first
insert
point-
guitar riff here.
first point of nerdy news tonight: God of War Ragnarok.
Lord.
I have been seeing so many things about it. It just came out recently. Everyone's been playing it. It's been all over my TikTok feed. I've been seeing so many clips of it. God, I wish it was not a PS5 exclusive. I would be playing that shit so hard.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it real with you. My brother has a PS5. He's not gonna let me take it.
Never.
But over the summer,
Or winter.
you gotta come over, or winter, you gotta come over and you can try it. Like
Xbox
full on.
sells seeding over PS Chads because we have Uncharted.
Yeah, you have Uncharted and God of
And
War.
God of
Just
War.
wait until God of War Ragnarok gets on PC.
True.
Oh, that's so true. Though.
Then
but,
PC truly will be a
my
master
lord.
race.
But
Yeah.
also at the same time, PS also has The Last of Us, and that
Eh,
game
I've
series.
never played The Last of Us or watched anything about it.
the silence and just absolute just
I-
frozen. I think David's going to kill him.
Okay, I love zombie games. Holy shit!
What do you think of The Last of Us Part 2?
Fantastic. So good. It's so awesome. It's because people, they glorify this one character, and he has a little incident in the second game. And it,
Because the devs suck. Wait, I'm so confused. I also.
The Last
Nothing.
of Us 2.
That's an
Oh,
entire
yeah,
another
yeah.
conversation. That's
Okay,
an
yeah,
entire
yeah.
another
Conversation.
conversation.
But
God of War
moving-
Ragnarok.
about stupid
So,
producers.
What else do we want to talk about?
Okay, so God of War Ragnarok looks incredible. From what I've been seeing, the story
is going to rocket.
is
Like,
going it is a very very real contender for Game of the Year this year.
Well, what's crazy is it's released in the fourth quarter. If
And
it gets Game of the Year, I'm gonna lose my mind because
If-
Elden Ring this
Yeah,
year.
if they're-
Elden Ring has
if
had
they-
time
No, but,
to
like,
get up here.
Elden Ring has had a lot of simmering time, but it's like Elden Ring was hit at the beginning of the year. If we finish off the year with God of War Ragnarok, that's all it's going to be fresh in everyone's mind.
I know, that's the problem, because if Elden Ring and Ragnarok released at the same time, Elden Ring would win.
Elden Ring would win.
Also, we will
Because
be
Elden
doing a
Ring
Game
is
of the Year
insane.
predictions episode
absolutely.
for sure.
Yes.
So we
I got
should
mine.
keep our opinions from
Yeah,
what we
we'll
think,
nip,
because that will
we'll
be an
nip
entire
this topic in the bud,
episode.
but Ragnarok has some very real potential.
I'm so excited.
So-
Even though I don't have a PlayStation.
Leighton,
That's
I
fine.
know you have some pretty exciting stuff you want to talk about.
yeah.
I do. I'm just looking up when it's supposed to release real quick.
The 8th.
Ooh, no
2 days.
way.
2
Oh,
days.
okay. So, big news. Sonic Frontiers is coming out. Which may not be big news for a lot of people, but it's news for people who really like Sonic. And I don't know. Slowly over time, I'm just more and more. I keep seeing things about Sonic. I keep getting more and more into him. I don't know why. But, like, I was playing Sonic and Smash, and I was like, wait, this is actually really fun to play. So, Sonic Frontiers is coming out. It's supposed to be an open-world Sonic game. It's coming out on
I'm
November
so
8th,
excited
which
for that
is
game.
literally
Two
like
days
2
from
days.
now.
$60, I don't think I'm going to drop on it. But
He is.
I might.
if you do, I'm playing it. I'm going to use
we're
you.
game sharing that shit.
We're game sharing
It's
Sonic
happening.
I played Sonic Generations, and I actually really loved Sonic Generations. I played it on
Sonic
PS3.
Generations was so fun. I
It
played
was
on
so
my
fun.
Xbox.
It was so cool to play. It was so. Yeah, I'm starting to really like Sonic. I don't know why.
Oh god,
I'm excited for Sonic
I
Frontiers.
bought Sonic
Sorry,
Colors
I'm sorry,
Remastered on the
sorry.
Switch
It's okay,
and
it's
started
okay,
playing
it's
it,
okay, it's okay.
and I nearly threw up with the fucking controls.
Okay, well I haven't played Sonic Colors, so I can't.
You've never played Sonic
Sonic
Colors? That was
I
my
literally-
childhood!
I was literally going to say that. Sonic Colors changed my view of Sonic.
That was my fucking child. That and Sonic Unleashed were my childhood.
Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna start getting into the Sonic games because I'm really looking
Don't
forward
get
to it.
Sonic Remastered on the Switch. Sonic Colors Remastered.
Oh, I just want to get Generations
It's
again.
so
It's so fun.
I don't know if it's just the nostalgia, like my brain fucking it up, but I started playing that and trying to like jump platform to platform was a struggle. Like legitimate, it was so slidey that it was such a struggle.
But so anyway, Sonic Frontiers coming out in 2 days. It's gonna be really cool. I don't think it's definitely not gonna.
It's
be
a Sonic game with combos. Have you seen the fucking combo? It's a beat 'em up. No,
Okay.
it's a Sonic game where you collect collectibles in order to get faster and faster. The more you collect these certain collectibles, the faster and faster you can go in the world, like an upgrade. And it has beat 'em up style combos, like Devil May Cry-esque combos.
I'm playing Sonic Frontiers, and you're buying it for me.
I am not. I'm poor.
I am too.
So, I just want to say really quick, one piece of news that I generally look into news before I do it. One piece that blew my mind.
One Piece.
Ubisoft games could be returning to Steam.
Please
That
get me
would
off
be-
the Ubisoft platform.
Please, because that stuff going through the alternate platforms
Oh my god, Ubisoft Connect.
is
Connect
so
sucks.
bad.
It's
dude.
so
Yeah, especially
so
David. We were trying to play
bad.
Rainbow Six Siege with a friend of ours because we're like, oh, let's just play, have some fun with a friend. David has spent 2 hours trying to get into Ubisoft.
Trying to play R6 on Ubisoft Connect sucks. Trying to play Steep on
David,
Ubisoft
you're doing great
Connect
today. It's
sucks.
great.
It's so bad.
Ubisoft, just go to Steam.
But if we are still Sonic Frontiers, I am excited for. I also saw a video of someone. He is a content creator that does like Sonic stuff, and he's like famous for getting games early. And he drew a Among Us thing with the Sonic, the
Oh
new
yeah,
Sonic
there's
thing.
a trail. There's a special
trail
thing
aspect.
where you can like run in a circle and it'll
And draw.
do like attacks, but you can draw, and he drew Among Us.
Very funny. It's very cool.
Eh.
All right.
Actually, funny piece of news: the entirety of Sonic Frontiers Switch Edition got leaked online.
Oh, dude.
You can
that's
you can
insane.
download and play it with an emulator right now.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy, dude.
Nintendo's gonna kill you. Stop.
Yeah.
I don't
We're
want
gonna
them
get
to raid my
hunted.
room.
Dude, it's gonna be a literal like Ready Player One-esque thing.
Yeah, actually.
IOI's hunting you down, dude.
Oh,
if I don't appear in the next episode, you know what happened to me.
Nintendo killed him. Do we have any other pieces of nerdy news?
Honestly, I don't think
I can't
so.
remember.
Ramatra? Did we talk about? That's. I don't know if we should.
Ramatra.
Very quick. Very
quick topic. Overwatch 2 is getting a new hero, Ramatra. It is a new Omnic, like Zenyatta.
Omnic terrorist.
Yes,
Keep that in mind.
Omnic
so
terrorist.
Legitimately is a terrorist.
Overwatch
He's
2
got
is also banning
so far.
May.
please.
No.
Um,
Getting rid of May, but yeah.
Getting
hopefully-
rid of.
Yeah.
hopefully,
Like removing?
Removing from the game
Temporarily,
temporarily,
I
I guess.
Okay, I was about to say permanently. You can't do
Yeah.
that with May. That's like one of their most popular characters.
Yeah.
It's my favorite character.
Shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
So the new abilities that seem to be with Ramantra is the ability to transform into both a melee attacker mode and a defensive like tanker mode.
They
where-
call him Nemesis.
Yeah,
I
like
believe.
Nemesis form or something, where you can literally beef up and go ham on your enemies while then transforming back. And it's similar to like I'm assuming it's going to be similar to Bastion's turret form, where you temporarily enter this form and just beat everyone up, and then you go back to being your shielding and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm actually quite excited to see how it goes
I'm honestly excited about it.
as a
well.
tank main.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's literally this is gonna suck.
I
We get a new
downloaded-
tank hero, and I'm gonna have to like give up my tank queue. This is so stupid.
I downloaded Overwatch 2 like literally 5 weeks ago, and I have not opened it on my PC yet.
Homie, you gotta play with us. Bella will want to
know,
play. She's
I
in the
know.
chat right now.
So,
It's bigger.
as David proceeds to increase the font size on the word outro on our Google Doc until it covers the entire page,
better
So
I think we should continue talking. How about
it's just gonna be one letter all the way down now.
outro? leave that. No.
I guess.
Keep that up. That's fine.
All right. Thank you all for joining us on the podcast tonight. We've had a blast.
As every
being
night.
with you guys as every
No,
Sunday.
we love doing this.
We
It's
seriously love podcasting
it's so much
so
fun.
much. It has been a huge like lift to my mental health. Just being
Seriously.
able to sit here and talk to a live stream for
And I-
an hour.
I also like I just want to put this out there, like the general support from at least my family, and I know these guys haven't really mentioned it to their family just yet.
But
like-
see, my grades are doing better. But if I mentioned that to my family, they'd be like, "Why aren't you focusing on school?" It's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I'm having fun.
My
but
family
like
aren't as nerdy as I am. Except maybe my sisters.
the amount of support that we've gotten from our friends and our family, it's just it's so
incredible.
uplifting. It was the same thing that I talked about last episode, but thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Actually,
Thank you all of our friends, family, girlfriends. Like three of us all have our girlfriends watching most of the time.
Dude, that's-
Just keeping up that bottom line of viewers. Let's go.
Don't ratio one of us like that. That's horrendous.
Sorry, big man.
No, don't tell everyone. That's fucked.
nobody
It's okay.
saw what
Here,
I just
I'll
did.
insert Ethan cut right now. It's okay. I'll give you a kiss. You can recut.
Ah,
You make things. This episode's gonna be so difficult. I'm gonna be literally
hey.
pulling my hair out.
I'll help.
Editor Ethan, please put a note right here on how your mental state is currently.
Poor. The answer is poor.
And wouldn't be
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. We will be ending the stream now. Before David goes into a 2-hour rant about Disco Elysium, I bought it. Okay,
I've downloaded
I
it.
bought it. I'm
Thank
going
you
to
so
play
much,
it.
guys.
Thank you so much
okay.
for coming.
Adios.
Bye.
We love you all.
Bye.
Play Disco